Imagine standing in the middle of a city that looks like a picture-perfect painting. It holds the Guinness World Record for the highest density of white marble buildings anywhere on Earth. The streets are spotless, the fountains are massive, and the architecture feels like Disneyland built in a desert. This is Ashgabat, the capital of Turkmenistan. But if you look closer, you will notice something terrifying. The silence. In this city of over 1 million people, there is almost no one on the street. 8-lane highways with no cars, massive stadiums with no audience. It is a city built not for living, just for show off. You feel a constant sense of unease, like thousands of eyes are watching you, but there's no one there. This isn't just a city, it's the world's most expensive illusion. Welcome to the city of the dead. So why build a fake city? History tells us that whenever a government tries this hard to look perfect, they're often hiding a horror story. In 1944, the Nazis did exactly this. They built a fake town called Theresienstadt to fool the Red Cross. They planted gardens, opened coffee houses, and forced Jewish prisoners to smile and act all normal in front of the inspectors. They called it Operation Embellishment. But the moment the camera stopped rolling, these actors were sent to Auschwitz to die. 80 years later, Turkmenistan is repeating this dark history. Ashgabat is a modern state. The happy people you see on state TV are unpaid actors terrified into submission. Behind the marble walls lies the reality of torture and fear. Ashgabat isn't a capital city. It's a mask worn by the brutal regime to hide the bruises of its very own people. In Turkmenistan, people don't just get arrested, they evaporate. Take the story of Boris Shikhmuradov. He was the foreign minister, a man of power. But in November 2002, after an alleged assassination attempt on the president's car, an attack many believe that was staged by the president himself, Boris disappeared. Weeks later, he appeared on national TV, but he didn't quite look like himself. He looked drugged, beaten, and semi-conscious. He read from a scripted confession calling himself a criminal and a non-entity. This was the last time anyone saw him. It has been over 20 years. Is he alive? Is he dead? No one knows. This is the hallmark of Turkmen regime. They erase your history, your voice, and eventually your existence. If you cross the regime, you aren't just sent to jail. You're sent to Ovedan Depe, located in the middle of scorching Karakum desert. This isn't just a prison. It's a torture lab. The name itself strikes terror into the hearts of the locals. In summer, the heat melts your skin. In winter, you freeze. Inmates are often subjected to flying carpet torture, where they are strapped to boards or tires in excruciating positions. There are cells here that are completely dark, where political prisoners are thrown to be forgotten. They don't execute you immediately at Ovedan Depe. They let starvation, disease, and madness kill you slowly. It is a black hole designed to crush the human spirit, hidden just 70 kilometers away from white marble luxury of the capital. The man behind this madness was Dictator Niyazov, who called himself Turkmenbashi, the father of all Turkmen. His narcissism even made North Korean leaders look modest. He built a gold-plated statue of himself that rotated 360 degrees so that it would always face the sun. But his control went beyond statues. He banned opera, ballet, and even dogs from entering the capital city as he did not like their smell. He also famously told his people not to get gold teeth, but to gnaw on bones to strengthen their jaws. He renamed the month of January after himself and April after his mother. This wasn't just a dictatorship, it was a psychological experiment where one man's ego became the law of the land, and the reality was whatever he said it was. So how do you control the minds of an entire generation? You rewrite their education. Niyazov wrote a book called the Ruhnama, the book of the soul. It was a mix of revisionist history, moral guideline, and his own autobiography. He even told his people that anyone who read the Ruhnama 3 times was guaranteed a spot in heaven. It became mandatory in schools, universities, and government offices. You couldn't even get a driver's license without passing the test on his book. He replaced science and math with his own word. And by the time he died, the whole generation of children had grown knowing nothing about the outside world, only what was written in the Ruhnama. It was the ultimate tool for identity reprogramming. So you might ask, why don't people just leave? The answer is simple. They can't. Turkmenistan is a golden cage. The government uses a strict internal passport system. You cannot simply move from a village to the capital city without a permit. Hotels won't give you a room unless you have police clearance. Getting a passport to travel abroad is nearly impossible, often taking years of vetting or bribes. And even if you get to the airport, the police have a blacklist of people banned from leaving. Could be journalists, relative decedents, or anyone deemed suspicious. In Turkmenistan, a passport isn't a travel document, it's a certificate of loyalty. If the state owns you, you don't get to leave. While Ovedan Depe swallows its victim and the marble city stays silent, India is quietly laying a 1,814 kilometers steel lifeline called Tapi from Turkmenistan to the fields of Punjab. This pipeline, now advancing under Taliban's protection in Afghanistan, is meant to deliver 33 billion cubic meters of gas a year and cover 5% of India's needs by early 2030s. India has already invested hundreds of millions, calls Ashgabat a brother, and never utters the word Ovedan Depe, forced confessions, or Ruhnama. In this new great game, India needs to counter China's grip on Turkmen gas and reduce its own dependence on volatile LNG route. Tapi, paired with the strategic Shahabar port, gives India a land corridor that bypasses Pakistan and dilutes Beijing's leverage. So when Niyazov died in 2006, the world hoped for change. Instead, they got Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, Niyazov's former dentist. Today, Turkmenistan remains one of the most censored countries on earth, ranking at the absolute bottom of global freedom indexes. But why does this matter to us? We don't live in Turkmenistan. Because dictatorships don't always start with soldiers. They start with the suppression of truth. Whether it's a marble city hiding a prison or an algorithm hiding opposing views, the goal is the same: to stop you from thinking critically. The people of Ashgabat show us that true freedom isn't just about where you live, but about your ability to question the reality presented to you. So if you stop asking why, you are already in a prison of your own making.